So this will be the last Friday morning that we do, because you can see that I am in my office, back to seeing some more patients, and trying to figure out where to put my phone here. There we go. Yeah, so back to seeing more patients on Friday. So, hey, Prime Health. Hi, Dad. Back to seeing more patients. So I'll be keeping Wednesday evening and Sunday evening as well, but Fridays will be gone, but you can always see the recordings and stuff like that. So today, what we're gonna need, I will get this phone set up somewhere. Hi, Mom. We need a ball and we need a wall, because that's what we're gonna be using to get some awesome stretching in this morning. So let me just grab something here. Getting creative with our phone set up here. Do a little tour of my office. I don't know if you'll get to see Betty, but we've got Betty, my skeleton, here hanging out too. All right, there we go. So we'll just have two different angles here. So what we're gonna be working here is, we're kind of continuing some hip stuff, okay? So you're gonna take your ball here and we're gonna roll around on our glutes. Right around here, we're just gonna kind of get some blood flow in there. So you can do this standing up against the wall. You can also join me on the ground. So I'm gonna be here. And I have it, if you find your tailbone here, we're gonna go to the right side of it to start here. And we're just gonna kind of sit on it. So not always the most comfortable spot, but we can kind of go back and forth a little bit here. And what I want you guys to play with here is, we're gonna hold a spot and you're gonna drop your knee back and forth here. So we're getting those glutes. You guys can hear my medical grade essential oil diffuser in the background. Now it's peace and quiet. Okay, let's roll up a little bit. So what we're gonna end up doing is kind of making a little half moon. We're not gonna work too much right in the center, but we're coming up, so we're a little bit higher than your tailbone. Roll a little bit around. Side to side. My little hiccup was set up this morning was I was trying to balance my computer on my MPAC. And if you guys know what that is, it's a backpack with water bladders. That's an amazing workout tool, but not a good computer balancing object. There we go. Okay, coming up a little higher, and as you're going higher, you may get a little bit of curve. So we're kind of coming up around here. When I'm up here, you can do a little side to side. There we go. And then we're gonna hit just one more spot here. So we're getting kind of close. If you hung out on Wednesday or saw the recording, we're getting close to that front area that we worked a ton, but you're still kind of on that butt cheek, adding some movement in. All right, let's go ahead and switch to the other side. So right by the tailbone. You can be elevated like I am, or you can be relaxed down. I just have crammed myself into the wall, so this is what we're doing. Add that movement side to side. A little bit up and down. I find people to be really tight around the tailbone because oftentimes that slouched position, we end up putting a lot more pressure in that area. So it's just a good area to release. Plus, most of us have probably fallen on our tailbone at one point or another. So, okay, let's go up a little bit here. Go. And if you're standing at the wall, you can easily be doing these knee movements as well. It's just a good thing, a good direction to work those glutes. Because we actually want our hips to get this rotation. So working while we're massaging through that is really helpful. So you can come up a little bit higher. We're gonna do 2 more spots here. Whew, that's a good one. There we go. Just had to remind myself to breathe, so make sure you're breathing. And then let's hit that last spot. So kind of butt dimple area here. Kind of rest into it and then add some of that rotation. There we go. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, everyone's actually gonna go up to the wall, and let's see, I think you're gonna be able to see me from both angles here, so this is awesome. So we're gonna be working, if you guys grab the side of your knee here, there's some tendons here that you can grab. We're gonna be working basically back and forth over this IT band area, but we're working really that connection of the IT band to your quad and to your hamstring. So I find that when you get up against a wall, you get a different angle. And because there's less pressure, we just get a different effect. So you're gonna start kind of the back of the knee here, and then roll forward to the front. If you can have your skin bare against the ball, that's gonna be ideal. Don't think my pants are gonna roll up that high. And then if you hold a spot here, you can lean into the wall for balance. We can add some knee bending here. There we go. So we've got a large surface area to work here. We're gonna do 2 other spots on this leg. So I'm gonna have you kind of cruise up and just find an area that feels tight as you're rolling back and forth. If you're on one spot and need to go up above or lower, we're just gonna do 2 more here. So get all the way to the front, all the way to the back of the hamstring. And then we'll pin a spot, balance yourself, and add a little bit of that knee bend. There we go. Okay, last spot on this side. Choose what feels good. I'm gonna grab a little drink here. I am not used to wearing masks, and realizing I drink a lot throughout the day at work. And when you have a mask, it's really hard to drink through it. So I'm feeling for those in the medical field that are used to always wearing masks. There we go. And then we'll add some of that knee bend. And it doesn't, once you get up higher, it doesn't seem like the knee bend's gonna do much, but it really, really tensions that side. Get some good work in there. All right, let's switch to the other side. So starting down at the knee, rolling side to side. Get into the hamstring, quad. Then you can add some of that knee bend. And then we'll come up a little bit higher. You can go a little bit up and down if you want. It's not necessarily the goal of today's stuff, but if it feels good and you found a really tight area, you can definitely do that. Let's add some knee bends. And then let's pick that last spot. Whatever feels good to you, up a little higher. Make sure you're going all the way to the back. And think of this just as scanning the area. So you're really checking in with your body today. Doesn't matter if there's always another area that's usually tight. Kind of hit that reset button and check and see where your body's at today. And then we'll add the knee bend. All right. So now we get to do a fun new stretch here. So what I'm gonna have you guys do is we're gonna be laying on our back with our feet up on the wall here. So let's make sure these angles are good. So the way I like to get into this is scoot my butt and spin here. If your hips are really lifted with your feet on the ground, I'm just gonna push away a little bit more, okay? So, but you're gonna try to be as close as you can with your tailbone and sacrum still on the ground. So I'm here, and let's just kind of settle into this position. You can use your hands to push your knees out. And let's tune into that 360-degree breath that we've talked about. So deep breathing, checking in. Okay, so we're gonna cross right leg over, right ankle over left leg. And so you'll see what happens when I try and do that, my hips lift a ton. So I'm gonna scoot back. There we go. And find a position where I can have this ankle crossed over here. Foot is gonna stay flexed. You're gonna keep that active to protect that knee. And I'm just here stretching. There we go. So I can push, if it's comfortable, I can push this knee down a little bit. Otherwise, I'm laying here and taking those deep belly breaths. So we're getting a good glute stretch. You may feel it a little bit in the front of your hip. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take that left foot and you're gonna walk it to the outside a little bit. And I'm gonna use this ankle to try to pull this knee across. I like to stay above the knee joint so we're not twisting it. And I'm only going as far as I can, keeping this hip on the ground. So I probably could do this, but we want to focus this stretch on the hip here. So I'm just going to pull in. You may feel kind of a new sensation in here and just try to breathe into it. Hi, Ryan. You may feel it kind of on this all the way down here where we just worked. And then before we get out of this position, I want you guys to squeeze this left butt cheek. You're gonna try to activate that. Might be challenging in this position, and then go ahead and relax it. We're doing a little bit of that contract, relax, tricking your body to relax a little bit more. So go ahead and squeeze again. And then relax. Let's do that one more time. And then relax. Okay, go ahead and come on out. You may have to kind of straighten your legs a little bit to shake them out. And we're gonna go to the other side. So, knee is bent. And again, this side might be a little tighter. So you'll see this side is definitely tighter for me. You might have to scoop back a little bit more. There we go. Top foot stays nice and active. So we're keeping that knee protected in this position. Settle into your breathing. You can use your hand to push this knee if you need to. And then walk that right foot out to the side. Make sure that left ankle is below the knee joint. So as you pull across, you're not cranking on the knee. You're just moving that hip, keeping the back of the hip on the ground. And just settle into this position. Let's do a few of that contract, relax. So you're gonna squeeze your right butt cheek. And then relax. And as you relax, you'll feel probably that hip rotate maybe a little bit more. So go ahead and squeeze your butt. And relax. Then we'll do one more time. Squeeze your glute. And relax down. Okay. Come on out of that. And shake your legs a little bit. To come out of this position, I would recommend rolling to your side to push on up. Okay, so we're gonna grab a pillow, towel, a bolster, something like that, which mine is right here. You might not need this, but just in case. So we're gonna be sitting in what's called a 90-90 hip position. We've done this before, but you're gonna have your front foot out at a 90-degree angle, and then your back leg, almost kicked my water, sad day, back leg at a 90-degree angle. So let's move you guys back a little bit. There we go. So 90-90. So I don't need this bolster. This bolster, if your hips are really tight, will help to support your body in that position. I'm gonna take it out because it's making it harder for me. So front leg 90, back leg 90. If you are feeling like this is just really crunching everything, that's when you need that bolster. So I'm in this position and I'm actually framing, turning my chest towards this front leg. So I'm here and I might just hang out here. This might be just enough stretch. I'm going to squeeze this back butt cheek because that's going to help lengthen this front area. Again, we're stretching a lot of that spot that we rolled today. So as I'm here, if I need more, I'm going to try to just move forward from my hip. So I'm not going to be rounding my spine. I'm just going to lead with my chest and try to fold towards this front knee. I'm not going very far because I'm going to hit my head on this wall. There we go. So I want you to think, as we're folding forward, think of driving this front leg down into the ground as well. Squeezing this butt cheek, drive this leg down into the ground, and then go ahead and relax. Fold into the stretch. If you guys are on the bolster and even just sitting in this position, it's enough of a stretch, hang out there. We'll switch sides. No need to add this stuff. Let's squeeze again. So squeeze glute, press this leg down. There we go. And then we're going to switch to that other side. So we're coming here, 90 degrees in that back leg, 90 degrees in the front. And try to twist your chest towards that front knee. Settle in here first, getting that glute to be active. So one of the top indicators or like a predisposition to having lower back pain is having tight hips. So if we can be proactive on getting these things to be mobile, it is a good thing. And how often do you rotate your hips like this, right? Not very often. So squeezing this butt cheek. As you fold forward, we're keeping that chest lifted and you're hinging forward from your hips. So not trying to fold that spine. And then we can do some of that contract relax. So you're gonna squeeze this butt cheek, drive that front leg down into the ground. And then relax. Another good thing with this too is we're actively working on our mobility. Go ahead and squeeze butt cheek, drive your leg. But we're also telling our brain, hey, we have this new range of motion and now we can use it. So activating our muscles that way. Go ahead and relax, fold forward. Let's do one more, squeeze this butt cheek, drive this leg down. And then go ahead and relax. All right, we're gonna come on out of that. If you're still near your wall, go ahead and scoot your butt all the way up against the crease here. We're just gonna finish sitting butterfly style here. So you can pull your heels in as comfortable as possible. The wall helps keep our spine in a better position. And if your knees are up high, that's okay. Just try to breathe into it. If it's really uncomfortable, you can use your bolster and put it underneath your knee, something like that. But just try to be nice and tall, let those knees fall out to the side. I'm gonna take this hand up and over and just get a little bit of a stretch here. Kind of lengthens that whole side. And then we'll switch to the other side. And then you can come on down. Cool. Thanks for hanging out. So this is the last live Friday because I'm adding more patient hours. So I usually see patients, but I will see you all Sunday and then still on Wednesday evenings as well. Please keep sharing. So the donation this week was to just share one of these tips that you learn in class with someone in your life. Just trying to share the self-care and the movement love, and also asking them if they have any specific aches and pains that we can kind of focus on. So keep sharing those with me, and I will see you all Sunday, 5 p.m. Mountain Standard. Thanks for hanging. Have a lovely weekend.